never done a YouTube Q&A before. I do Q&A actually every Tuesday on my Instagram. If you want to go over there at mwills, I do a teaching every Tuesday and a Q&A, but I've never done one here. So I decided, why not do a YouTube Q&A? I got more questions than I will ever know what to do with. I will be breaking up my Q&A into 2 parts because I couldn't get to all of your questions. I won't be able to get to all of your questions no matter what because there are a few hundred. Here we go with our Q&A. My phone has the cutest pop socket ever. It's of my little nephew with big sunglasses on. He is the cutest thing ever. Mary asked, did you go to college and what did you study? I did go to college. I got my bachelor's degree from Arizona State University in broadcast journalism. A lot of people say, do you want to go get your master's? Absolutely not. I'm fine with my bachelor's degree. A lot of you have asked for a video about choosing a college, so I might be making one of those soon because that's an important thing. Many of you asked, how do I figure out what my vocation is? That is a chapter in Go Bravely, my new book. So while I want to tell you everything, I don't want to spoil the stories that I shared in that chapter and all the tips that I shared in that chapter. So that's chapter 15 in my book. It's called Keep Calm and Follow God. Stay tuned for that. Christina asked about first date do's and don'ts. I should probably make a whole entire video on this. The first date do is to be yourself. Just to be yourself. Don't think, oh gosh, I gotta be this way for him to like me, or think I'm, interesting or anything like that. Just be you. You is the person that he would go on a second date with and third date with and later on down the road propose to if he was actually the one. There's no point on a first date in not being yourself. First date don'ts. A lot of people say, don't talk about religion, don't talk about politics, don't talk about things like that. I think talking about your faith, if it's an important thing to you, is really important to talk about on the first date, so you get that out of the way. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. As a woman who loves her faith, that's something that was really important to me, and I liked getting that out on the table because if they weren't cool with it, I knew that I was wasting my time. I don't think that that's a don't. I would say don't go back to a guy's house after a date. I should probably make a whole entire video on this. So your first date do, be yourself. Delilah asked, how do you bring your friends to faith without making things awkward or uncomfortable? A lot of you showed me through my Q&A how much you care about your friends. So many of you had questions about helping your friends and loving your friends and supporting your friends. It just showed the beauty of your hearts and your compassion for your friends and how much you want them to be on a good and beautiful path that's going to fulfill them. This is a great question about bringing your friends to faith. Step number 1, invite your friends to church. It is so easy to say, hey, I'm going to church on Sunday. Do you want to come with me? Your friend might say no the first time. Ask her again the next week, and ask her again the week after that, and ask her again the week after that. Not in a pressuring way to say, but to say an open invitation. Inviting them to church opens that door for them to maybe ask you questions about your faith or why that's important to you. Even if they say no 75 times, they might say yes on the 76th time. And that is a beautiful, awesome, and good thing. But you can give that invitation to your friends that you want to know that they're welcome to come to church with you anytime, to give them that opportunity and that invitation to come along with you and to be introduced maybe for the first time to faith, or to have their faith rekindled if they've been away from church or away from God for a long time. Props to you, Delilah, and all you other women who asked about that question. Jordan said, I have recently decided to wait a year before dating again because I know I'd end up hurting that person or myself. Any advice on how to enjoy being single? What Jordan is exhibiting here is called self-awareness. To know, I'm not ready to date right now. That is knowing yourself and knowing what's good for you. And that's a practice that comes over a long period of time, and learning about yourself and learning about other people. Self-awareness is something that grows over time. All of you are in different dating scenarios and situations, and some of you haven't dated and some of you have dated a lot. But in those times where you think dating wouldn't be good for me right now, you can just decide, I'm not gonna date for 6 months because I need to learn to be by myself. I need to learn to love myself. I want to spend my time doing other things other than pouring so much of my time into a relationship. That is not a bad thing. Taking time off from dating is a good thing when you know it's something you need to do. Some of you are like, wish I could take time off from dating because I've never dated in my life. Keep on keeping on, sisters. Don't you worry your pretty little heads. Any advice on how to enjoy being single? On one of my Instagram lives one time, it was so awesome. I loved it. For those of you who were there, some girl asked like, how does she enjoy her life being single? And I told the girls, comment right now the things that you do as a single woman in your life to help yourself enjoy your life, to live your life for the fullest. And comment after comment after comment after comment was just these beautiful things that these women do with their lives, with their time, with their talents, and all different kinds of things to live a fulfilled life as a single woman. It was amazing, and I wish that I could have saved that to write down that list. But there are so many different things that you can do. Spend time with your friends, spend time with your family, learn a new craft, learn a new thing, go out and go on adventures. There's all different kinds of things that you can do as a single woman. One of my friends decided to start taking ballroom dancing classes to enjoy her life as a single woman. Another one of my friends started to learn a new instrument when she was in her later 20s, because she's like, hey, I'm gonna enjoy my life. I don't need a man to enjoy my life, and I'm gonna learn how to play a new instrument. So there are so many different things that we can pour our hearts into other than relationships, and it's important to find those things. So I wish I still had that Instagram live. Perhaps I could do something where women comment all of the different things. I don't know. Diana said, which was a question a lot of you had, but Diana asked it so politely. She said, I know this is personal, but planning on having any kids soon. Yes, this is a personal thing, but since a lot of you asked and I want to be open with you, I will answer this question. No, we do not have any babies right now. I am not pregnant, but that's not because I don't want to be. God just hasn't decided to give us a child yet. We do not use birth control in our marriage, and we've never used birth control in our marriage. That's probably something else I should make a video about why we don't do that. So we've been open to life since our wedding day, but it hasn't been in God's plan yet to give us a child. So we're just trusting Him and trusting His plan for our family and knowing that He knows best. If we do have children, they'll probably be pretty cute, and I hope that they have Daniel's curly, thick, dark hair. I would love that. Katie said, do you regret your decision to save sex for marriage? No, 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 and no. I've talked about that before, but you might have missed that in the videos, and Daniel would absolutely tell you no as well. Neither of us regret our decision to save sex for marriage. It was worth it 9,000%. Grace asked, would you rather live the rest of your life wearing 2 left shoes or having to only write with your left hand? I would definitely choose to wear 2 left shoes. Oh, that would be so uncomfortable, but that would be so much better than writing with my left hand. On Twitter, Ariel asked, what are your thoughts on kissing before marriage? A lot of people liked her comment on Twitter, so I thought a lot of you would want to know that. There is nothing inherently wrong with kissing before marriage. That's not something that Jesus says, like, you're not allowed to kiss before marriage. That is something that if people have saved their first kiss until their wedding day, that is a choice that they made themselves. And that's a beautiful and honorable choice, but it's not a choice that everyone makes. That is a completely personal decision. Is it a personal decision I made? No. Is it a personal decision some people I know did make? Yes. It is not sinful to kiss someone before marriage, but you have to look at the context of, okay, where is this kiss leading to? Is the physical aspect of our relationship leading us to lust and leading us to sin? But a kiss on the lips is not something that's sinful or wrong to do before marriage. It is a personal decision that each and every single person makes. And I have mad respect for the people who make that decision. Elizabeth said, what makeup do you wear? A lot of you have asked me about doing a makeup tutorial about my simple little makeup, but here's what I'll tell you. I don't buy all kinds of expensive things just because I don't want to, spend all the money doing all that stuff. The mascara that I use, I really like. It's the yellow one by Maybelline called Colossal. This is the one thing that I invest in, and it is my powder. I use Makeup Forever Pro Finish powder. I brought it for the first time for my older sister's wedding because I wanted something that would stick through the whole day as we danced and got our groove on, and I sweated my little booty off. And I haven't been able to not buy it since. So when I'm speaking and like doing a long day of speaking from like 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. and standing in front of really hot lights, this stays so nicely. Other than that, I just, get a little eyeshadow at Sephora. I use their $10 eyeshadows that are so great and have such good pigment. So yeah. Melanie said, I like this guy, but I don't know whether or not God is telling me to pursue him. What do I do? In my personal opinion, I don't think God would ever tell a woman to pursue a man. That's just my old-fashioned opinion. But if you like a guy, Just get to know him. Get to know him in a group setting. Ask him questions. Ask him about himself. Be yourself. That's the best way to flirt with a guy, is to just be yourself. You don't have to be like, oh, oh yeah. You know, like the girls on The Bachelor who are just like so over the top. You're like, oh my gosh. The best thing that you can do to show a guy who you are is to be yourself, to ask him questions, to laugh, to do whatever. And if he likes you, great. And if he doesn't, that's fine too. You keep on keeping on with your life. Stacia said, what is the most challenging part of living your faith in this day and age? Any tips? Yes, I have a lot of tips. So many of your questions are in Go Bravely. What are the challenges of living as a young woman of faith? A lot of you ask questions about dating in high school and dating in college. That's a whole nother chapter of my book. I can't wait to tell you about every single chapter. There are so many challenges to living as a young woman of faith in this day and age, and legit, I cover so many of those. I don't want to spoil it. That's why I'm telling you that. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil the book and all the stories I share with you guys. What's your opinion when someone tells a girl that she was pretty much asking for it? And I think Natalia is referring to assault or harassment or something like that. Let's make one thing clear. A woman is never asking for it when it comes to harassment, when it comes to being assaulted, when it comes to being violated. I can't believe that there are actually people in the world who believe that women can be in circumstances where they are asking to be assaulted, to be violated, to be harassed. It boggles my mind that people use those words. So Natalia, that's my opinion. It is so wrong to tell a girl that she was asking for it. It's never right to say, because it is never, ever, ever true. For our last question, Mary asks, what is your favorite dessert? My favorite dessert of all time is peppermint bark cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory. They have the best cheesecakes ever, but when it's peppermint bark cheesecake season at the Cheesecake Factory, it's like, hallelujah. It's so good. I like desserts a lot, but that one takes the cheesecake. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you guys want to see more videos like this, I love giving you guys advice, but a lot of you say, hey, we want to know more about you. So please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to know when I put videos up. If you want to hear my Q&As every single week on Tuesday, follow me on Instagram at mwils. Stay tuned for part 2. I don't know when it's coming, but we're definitely going to have it. So thanks for asking those questions, and I'll see you next time.